Good afternoon, everyone. Brimezus here. And in this video, we're going to go over how being self-employed can desensitize you to W-2 and regular work. So, for a lot of people, even if you have a regular job or not, when you're self-employed, being self-employed and entrepreneur can seem like a dream. To work for yourself, to set your own hours, to be your own boss, to work from home, whatever kind of platitude they may, say on the internet, on social media, on TV, the freedom. And being an entrepreneur does come with this sense of freedom that you may not even realize at first, because also very much desensitize you. And the first way is being able to work when exactly you want to work, especially if you're a multipreneur, if you have multiple sources of income. One of the biggest benefits to being self-employed, if you're full-time self-employed, is, of course, being able to set your own schedule, but also be able to make money at any time that you feel like it. And even though with every profession or every source of income, there might come some limitations. For example, you might own a business and your business has business hours and you're only going to make money during business hours, or you have a subscription service. You're going to have, or you have a subscription service. And in this subscription service in your business, you make money automatically. Every day my charge accounts and you get paid automatically on top of the sales that you commit to that day. But at 9 o'clock at night, you're probably not going to make a new sale. So let's say you do rideshare, or you have another online business where you can sell products, or you walk dogs, or you clean houses, or you do some other type of work where you're not necessarily clocking in per se. You have that freedom. So when you try to re-assimilate into a normal working environment where people do have to clock in, where there is an HR department, where you do have a boss, where you can get fired, it can feel a little frustrating, because when you want to make more money or just go to work and feel like working, you just can't. And on the flip side, when you may not feel like going into work, and this could also be the case when you are self-employed, but I believe it can sting just a little bit worse when you're not self-employed. You might have to clock in and do some work. And all jobs are kind of varying, you know what I mean? My perspective, and I could be a little wrong, but I'm usually pretty right on a lot of things. There are a lot of jobs where you're kind of paid to just sit on the clock. You're not paid to be productive. And when you are self-employed, you do much value productiveness and seeing results in a certain fashion when certain things happen. And it very much won't work on a hourly basis. Like, for example, you could study something for 10 minutes diligently, and in that 10 minutes of study, you might learn more than somebody who was studying for an entire hour. Okay? You may be working out at the gym. Somebody might be at the gym for a couple hours on their phone, scrolling, socializing, talking, relaxing, lounging, and you over there hitting hard on the treadmill, hitting the weights, stretching. Every moment you're in the gym, you're being very productive. And work can be very much like that, where there's different standards for everybody, and there might be different things that you like about your job at certain times, that hate about your job at certain times. One of those things when it comes to being entrepreneurs that's gonna make a lot of money is calling people on the phone. I hate talking to people on the phone, but calling people on the phone made me a lot of money throughout my life. Maybe even $1 million or more, 2 million maybe in total. Just having a conversation with people, being able to communicate. Maybe you don't feel like doing that all the time, so you find other things to keep you busy, to feel productive. in the meantime. But if somebody else sets your schedule, or when somebody else sets your quota, it can feel a little weird. And maybe you want to go beyond their quota or their expectations, and you might not necessarily get rewarded for it. For example, you're just getting paid by the hour, but you may make more calls or clean more or produce more or draft more or survey more, whatever the case may be, see more patients, clients, and you're not necessarily rewarded for it. It can demoralize you, and I can 100% understand that. The work environment is crazy. The work environment is a little bit different from just school, where you can't just get good grades all the time. It's more than that. It's the interpersonal relationships that you're gonna have. Furthermore, another thing is like being able to speak the way you want. For example, you're not gonna speak to your mom the same way you're gonna speak to a police officer. You're not gonna speak to the same way a client you're gonna speak to a friend, more or less. But when you're your own boss, you may have your own facility, and you may have your own, agency essentially to do what you want. You might get it's very easy to get into a habit of speaking in a way that could be like considered inappropriate. But freedom of speech is what this country is built upon, and you might be used to saying certain slurs or certain phrases that people may not like, but because you're self-employed, you may have that agency to speak the way you want. And then to get put into an environment you can't just say anything you want at any given time, because you're not the boss, you're not the king of your own dominion, it can make you feel some type of way. It can make you feel some sort of castrated. It can make you feel in a way that even if you're making, say, more money hypothetically than you are being self-employed, you gave up one of the things that's valued more than money. That's freedom. And that's freedom. Freedom is not always good. Discipline is good. But when you become self-employed, you have to learn how to put certain parameters around yourself before other people do. And a lot of times you have to learn to enjoy those certain parameters. And I'm making these kind of videos to help guide you men better on your journey, because this isn't the channel for regular niggas. You know what I mean? This is for the people who want to be successful, that have been successful, that been through different kind of obstacles of being successful, that that been lit, that try and still figure things out, that can't necessarily have those conversations with the everyday person, because it can be very difficult, because it's hard to see certain things from a certain perspective until you actually get there. And I just want to make these kind of videos, this content, to help speak to the people like me, trying to figure things out, for that my son can know certain things, because I don't want to be so stuck in my ways that I try to impose too much on him. I hope that he can look at me when I'm closer to his age, or when he's my age, and say, yeah, I understand what Dad was trying to say, and I can make better decisions. Or hopefully you can look at me and say, I saw Brimezus do these kind of things or have these kind of opinions, I can make better decisions. So that's going to wrap up this video, guys. Allah bless y'all. See you guys next time.